too.
Yeah.
But
I gotta get further back so I can get the trial card. Fair trial. Excellent.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I just got to the point where in a funny way, right?
Yeah, I walked up.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I did so much of it. You know, as much as I have my other sign that I carry around, it was only created because Trump has his own sign. So I thought,
yeah, fair is
all
fair.
right, but see, when the kids come along, I'll sit there and I'll reverse it.
Oh, good.
And I will turn it around when the kids are here and I'll put something else nice.
But yeah, no, I get it. When you people at the peace vigil, the guy in the wheelchair, I don't know if you know him, Philly Buzz. He's been there forever.
Yeah, I remember giving him one of my signs.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but he decided he gets so frustrated, so he made a sign about a week ago, and it was just full of obscenities. And I said, Filipos, we've discussed this before, and that's not good for the crowd that comes by. He says, when I see children, we really turned it around. Yeah, which was really good.
Way to go, Trump, you asshole. No offense there, Donald.
Uh-oh, violence against the city president, not allowed. Maybe a city impersonator's up there.
Continental neighbors.
Oh, yes.
That's a new
Absolutely, I didn't know that.
Like that side.
Yeah, it's telling me. Yeah,
I'm with PA and Cheerio. Right, well, thank you. Albert.
Love to know the Europeans knew there's more of us.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Doesn't count us the rest.
That's right. You know that Bolton just said he's going to testify.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, you know that Bolton just said.
I don't know how to feel about that. Like, who's going to subpoena him?
Nobody.
We need to hear from Bolton. Bolton knows exactly what happened. We have got to hear from Bolton. Pompeo is dirty. Pompeo was always in the room. It'd be a comedy, but I don't know how informative it would be. Hey Donald, did you look at our proof so that you interpret the text? Because we had proof that Saudi Arabia ordered the murder of the Washington Post journalist.
me too.
All right, thank you.
The whole thing in.
Yeah,
Send it to Stephen Colbert.
I will 100%. And the hand gesture, it's too good. Thank you guys for doing it.
Flag and hat that says, and I get to see it. We're very good with other and they have these flags. My kids are running around. And when I was a kid, on vacation, the first thing I do is I go for vacation sometimes.
She was standing with the neutral sign and the I was sobbing this
Ashamed. I was ashamed the moment he became president. I was ashamed
Well,
to be
sure.
an American.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
no, of course I do. Then heard you say that.
And it's like, it's horrifying. Even my parents who might have been kids now, or years ago,
Yeah.
they're probably unaffiliated, but they know. My parents know that this is done. And all I can say to myself is I got my own kid, next generation, who's either watch it from mom or parents do something about it, or advocacy about it. So if it needs
So you say
it does. This is beyond unusual. This is banana this morning.
But I believe in that.
It's going to take us 50 years. What we thought was loyalty, what we thought was
Appropriate patriotism.
now we're like bipolar in our own country. We can't even think the same anymore about what that means. No.
And I don't think this country has lessons that really count from my parents to me are the lessons of how they behave, not what we want, not the people they're associated with, and some of the disgusting, very archaic language they used about how they behaved. And that's what the kids were. Oh, sure, I love it. As I think you can play with kids.
Are you here for this one, Senate? Do you know anything about the offices in there? Okay. Everybody's standing down there, but I'm wondering if we stood down here if there were people from offices. See us, but I don't even know who's in those offices.
I thought was the most appropriate for the category of, and of course I just bust out laughing when I see that someone for president. I'm like, how did you know so well this man? That would be fictitious. He understood.
Now you don't have to go to the gym today.
And the signs are really light, but it's the holding the arms and that.
Right, yeah.
I'm sure your arms are getting tired.
So I'd always put in the most inappropriate, most ridiculous, and they'd always know that was me. But it's a great game that way, and that's perfect for you.
I have to bring my 1.5-year-old grandson down.
I love it. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Come on down to the White House.
Oh,
I'd say
How many people are down there?
not a great. Well, there's the peace vigil that's down there. There's that kind of tent. There are always people manning that. And then a normal day, probably 4 or 5 people.
It hasn't amped up.
No, except for specifics. You know, on Saturday they had a big
Oh, it's great. I love it. Well, I'm in a car when it's
Hey! You guys stand next to each other?
Sometimes they say that sometimes. Well, what they will say that Trump makes them. And I just decided I can't talk with them. So I'll say, is it the racism you particularly like? That's my answer.
You just know Oh,
Yeah, we can get them. Yeah.
oh, I am.
Do I get stuff or is that okay? Oh, we're going to international
just, I have to, as they say, what does it say? Expression. Your friend's close to me. I had to try to communicate and hear what they're saying.
Just let me know when you're tired of holding it. I just got here.
But I will let you know this is how I feel, and you don't get it.
Well, it is not
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're in there because the lady down there that has the fair trial sign has friends inside.
Can you talk about your sign?
Yeah. As Trump or myself?
Either or.
I don't imitate Trump very well, so I'll say Trump is. Mitch McConnell is Trump's bodyguard. He will do anything for him. He is his insurance piece. And he has prostituted himself to the president. His wife works with the president. His wife is part of the Trump administration, so he has a conflict of interest. And he is not recusing himself. Instead, he says he is working hand in glove with the president. So that's why I have this sign. And it's a nice rhyme. A little vulgar, but it's accurate.
And I see you've got a crown on as well. What's that about?
Because, well, as they said in the House, if he can do whatever he wants, he's a monarch. He's an emperor.
I'm not going to let them take over.
You let him get away with everything, including starting a war totally irresponsibly, then you have a dictator.
How do you think Trump should have responded to the embassy attack?
Well, first of all, it's more than an embassy. It's actually a fortress. It's very large. It has soldiers in it. It's not a real embassy. It's really a fortress. Frankly, I think we need to stop the colonial business we're in and get out. And stop interfering with other governments. George Washington warned against this way, way, way back in terms of Europe. And we've substituted the Middle East for Europe. We're all into their affairs. We're totally mixed up in it. And it's costing a lot of lives and a lot of injured American soldiers. In addition to that, we're destroying a lot of history. We've destroyed millions of lives in the Middle East. We don't seem to have any regard for Arabs or other peoples in the Middle East at all. So it's extremely criminal. We've even tortured their people. We even have some of them still in Guantanamo without trial, even though 5 courts have cleared them. You know, it's like the United States lost its conscience after 9/11. It put its trust in the wrong people. And we're still trusting the wrong people. We can't have our blinders on anymore and expect the planet to be a home for human beings. So it's up to everyone to pay attention. It isn't up to just a few people. And in the democracy, people have to learn how to lead themselves and not be led by leaders. It's for every one of us to be informed, to have a conscience, and to act on that conscience. And that's why there are many people inside today and outside. We have other things to do in our lives, but this is the most important thing. We have to save this planet, and war is the greatest enemy of the planet.
And what are the impeachable offenses that you believe Trump has done?
First of all, the emoluments clause. He's making money off his office as well as his children. He has tried to smear a politician. I'm not fond of that politician particularly, but he had in order to get an arms deal, he was trying to withhold arms to the Ukraine. I'm not for our involvement in the Ukraine, but the thing is he's trying to almost blackmail that president into having an investigation of Biden in return for missiles. So that in itself is extremely criminal. There are just so many things he's done. He lies on a constant basis. He tells falsehoods on a constant basis. You cannot trust a person like this. And you could say he's psychotic or he was damaged from a bad childhood, whatever, but he has no business being in that position. The other thing he has done is put cabinet people to run these cabinets like the Environmental Protection Agency, who have ulterior motives and are they're anti the purpose of that agency. They want to destroy their purpose. Whether it's Betsy DeVos undermining public education, or the head of the EPA, who's ex-coal mine, advocate and tycoon. So you have tremendous conflicts of interest, profiteering off the government, and now you have more weapons in outer space. All this money is going to people. The weapons industry makes a fortune off of American paranoia. But it is dangerous to have all these missiles around. We should be actually making peace with other nations, because the only way we're going to defeat climate change or keep it under control is to work with other nations, and we can't keep making wars.
How much time do we have before there's a point of no return for the Earth with climate change, do you believe?
They say it's 10 years, but with all these wars, I think it's escalating. I think people just can't keep pussyfooting around and you just let a few people do something about it. It's not going to work that way. This is a democracy, and a democracy is only good when its people pay attention. Otherwise, it's worthless. People have a responsibility. If you claim to be a citizen, then act like a citizen and make the time. You've got time for television, make the time. This is the time to pay attention. Otherwise, the human race is gone.
Great. Any other thoughts on what inspired you to come out here?
Well, of course, Mitch McConnell just gumming up the works is totally outrageous. And the war. This is emergency. This is a wake-up call to the people who think they could just wait till the election. This man will do anything to stay in office. He'll put the whole world in danger. He has the ability to start an atomic war, a nuclear war that would end all life on this planet. You cannot trust this man. He's got to get out right away. Impeach him right away. He's incompetent, and we can't have cowards and bribe takers in the Senate supporting him.
Can you give us your best Trump impression? I saw you doing some hand gestures before. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
What brought you out here, miss?
Everything that Trump and his administration has done in the last 3 years and has the potential to do in the next year.
What do you think was like the first impeachable offense that Trump did?
I'll agree with this gentleman in the mask. The emollients clause, not getting he and his family out of his business before taking control of the presidency. And I use that word on purpose.
Gotcha.
This trumped up war now is just beyond the pale. I have not sat back at all these last 3 years, and I don't plan to stop now.
And what do you think Trump's response should have been to the embassy attack?
How about some actual negotiations? How about putting real statesmen who are trained to talk to people, who know what they're doing? The only thing he's draining are good, hard-working bureaucrats that know what they're doing and have kept us the beacon of light that other countries aspire to be. And he has just thrown all of that away. He has colluded with other countries, other dictators, other oligarchs, and that's what he wants to be. This gentleman's crown is actually completely appropriate. I feel like just as other oligarchs, they put their families in with them to do work that other people should be doing, and they just want control, and the Republicans and Citizen United has opened the door and let them walk right in. Take what you want. It's a kleptocracy is what it is right now, and that there are only a handful of people out here today is outrageous. These are my fellow countrymen and women need to wake up and get involved, start grassroots and bigger and whatever needs to be done, because there's no going back, or it would be a very hard fight to get back once he's in and doing even more damage than what he's doing now.
Let's talk about the damage. What are the stakes if he's not impeached and removed from... Well, he is impeached, but if he's not removed from office?
Well, clearly he will continue to operate as if he is above the law, which he thinks he is, and the Republicans support that, with Barr turning the other way and actually helping him. With help like that, you just have one side taking everything they want, and it doesn't matter what the actual voters want. More people want him removed than want him to stay in office. More people want gun control. More people want Citizens United overturned. All these things that they are just ignoring and doing what they want because they're afraid. After Obama, they're afraid that the white way of life and control and their way of life will somehow be in trouble. It's in peril. Instead of actually working with other people, the United States has always been stronger for the immigrants that come here. The people that came here, their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, they're what made America strong. Those people risked and sacrificed everything to get here. And that's what's in me. And I'm going to fight for it.
Got it.
Who are you with, by the way?
I'm with Breitbart News.
Okay.
So, why do you believe that Nancy Pelosi has not sent over the articles of impeachment yet?
Because she's fighting against an unfair situation. She's waiting until she knows that she can get people to have actual witnesses from the White House, rather than hiding behind immunity or whatever else Trump says he wants or doesn't want them to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm completely with her. She's a smart woman, and I back her up completely.
Do you pray for the president like she does? Like she says she does?
I'd rather not comment on that.
I understand. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Show me in a good light.
Well, we're all live, so everything's just going straight to live. Thank you very much. Hey, miss.
Yes.
You want to talk about your sign?
Sure.
All right. What inspired this?
I would like to see the Senate have an actual trial with witnesses and documents and emails and phone records to determine what exactly happened and determine whether or not Trump should be removed from office. And the current trajectory to ignore having witnesses and documents does not lead to a fair trial, nor does it allow us to understand what actually happened. And I think that's imperative in a matter this serious.
Do you believe that Trump has already committed impeachable offenses? If so, what are they in your opinion?
I personally do. I think he's committed crimes against humanity for locking up children and leaving them without medicine and letting them die on concrete floors. I believe he's committed a number of impeachable offenses, but today I'm here concerned that we have a fair trial to look at the charges against him of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress and see whether the evidence support his removal or not. And I think that's critical for our democracy to remain a democracy.
Got it. And this is an interesting sign, right? Have you gone to multiple protests with this? If so,
I took it Thursday night to the Kremlin Annex in front of the White House. Only I had a fair Senate trial that evening.
got it. And what's your message to Mitch McConnell?
I think he should do his job, which is to take the oath that says he'd be an impartial juror and to allow witnesses and documents to come forward and to act the way his oath says he should, that he will have to take as an impartial juror and weigh the evidence and then make a determination.
And what are the things that Trump has done that you disagree with?
Well, this week, I would say the assassination of an Iranian general with apparently very little thought as to what would be the consequences with our relationship with both Iran and Iraq and the entire Middle East, inflaming an entire region. And I disagree with him removing us from the nuclear accord that we had that was at least allowing for stability and dialogue, and the Iranians were allowing their facilities to be examined, and now he's thrown all that out the window.
So what do you feel like should have been the response to the embassy attack?
Our embassies see protesters on a regular and routine basis. Killing a general and inflaming an entire region is not an appropriate response to that.
He did kill Americans, though.
Not in that embassy attack. No Americans were killed whatsoever. There was one killed on December 27th.
Right, but in the long run, several Americans have been killed by him or because of his work. So
I'm sure that's true, and all the past presidents have evaluated that information and decided that taking him out was not worth the consequences in terms of what happens to our country. And I don't see any evidence that similar analysis was done or that we are prepared for the consequences.
what do you think would warrant the assassination of this individual who Trump took out?
I'm not a fan of assassinations. I think we need to move to more diplomatic means of maintaining relationships. And Trump has already blown up the relationship we had with Iran. The Europeans are trying to maintain it so that we can keep nuclear proliferation to a minimum. But there's no telling now what will happen.
And so you believe Pelosi has not sent those impeachment articles because she doesn't believe there's going to be a fair trial? Is that?
That is what she has stated, that she would want to see how the trial was going to be held, and so far there isn't any evidence there's going to be a real trial.
Do you think the congressional trial was fair, or the hearings?
I think the congressional trial brought forth a lot of evidence. I think tragically it was in fact obstructed, and we didn't get to hear from a lot of people that were subpoenaed or asked to testify that were stonewalled by the administration. I think it could have been fairer, possibly, had we seen more evidence from more people. But that did not happen.
Yeah. What was the first impeachable offense that Trump committed?
Laws from the beginning, not divesting himself of his hotel properties and his business properties that he continues to profit from, both foreign people funding and to stay in his good graces.
Okay. Thank you very much.
My brother will not with that. He says stuff all the time. I'm like, Joe. Started walking around with our hands up. They call that a demonstration. So, yeah. Yeah, just doing their job. What stage? No, we were able to. Yeah, we backed down. It's it's the dance. Oh, there's another. Yes, we're here. Hey. Now let's keep showing. Yeah, listen to Jenny. Move on. Let's go.
Christina, they're very Stay behind this banner.
Yes.
But he's going to follow us there. I want a picture of you. Okay. He's going to follow us. They're going to be everywhere. All right. Yeah, I just want to take a picture in front of the heart.
Yeah. We're going to come back.
All right. I got to get around this.
Yeah, I see. Jeanette. I'm not putting her on Breitbart. I'm not putting her on Breitbart.
Oh my God, are you really taking pictures of a kid? Really?
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? You just took a picture of that child when you heard her mother say she doesn't want her on Breitbart.
I turned my camera away.
That's not what I saw.
And I just turned my camera away. Yeah, okay.
Can you guys hold a banner with us or not? Just before we go. You want to take a picture?
I think it's good. If we're still...
So,
I'll take this in. If you go in the middle of that, you're building databases. Okay, I got this. We got some.
Well, I've been photographed since 1970.
We're
Something in it, though, so I don't want to be so.
I'm not a but it's just you have to find something. I like versus
hold this one?
Come on, Ben, smile.
No, I'm not smiling, Dad. I'm not trying to smile. It was so serious. I like to whack it up. Wag the dog.
Watch the sun.
Pull down, random.
Move down.
Down a little bit. Pull it tighter if you can. There you go.
Blowing in the wind, blowing in the wind.
skirmishes and yeah.
Ready? Yeah, I think we're good. I don't sign it. Just sign it for your face. Let's just do it. So, carry this. I'm sorry. And, you know, just make it as visible as possible.
Where are we going to?
I think we're ready.
Hi, Breitbart. How you doing, right wingers? Mwah.
We want to walk with them.
Okay.
Got the musicians going here. Yeah.
Yep, let's go. It's good to have a third person in the middle.
Which side?
So if we walk so that cars see it, and you have to pay attention so it's
What's a Facebook?
What? What's Facebook? It's a fascist surveillance tool. That's what it is.
Well said.
I quit it. I quit Facebook. I quit that. Fucking Zuckerberg. Thread that needle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need some help here. Thank you. Brooklyn, New York. What about you?
Back up. Wait.
See you. You're a camp follower. That's good.
I am.
That's a good status, I think, inside. Except for the civil rights.
Other than that,
It lives.
Let me ask you, why are you doing this? Don't you have anything better to be doing with your time? Like, really? Don't you know that they're using you?
Right, Bart?
Yeah. No. I mean, this particular individual.
We're all around here. He's filming your demonstration.
Yeah. Oh,
I know
he's with Breitbart. No, but the fact that he's choosing to spend his time and energy working for this propaganda outlet,
Representative Lewis.
it's like,
Money.
yeah, it's just really sad. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that this particular individual is like, yeah, no, I get it. I understand. Just, I'm just commenting on the fact that, like, they, the right wing takes advantage of individual people, Oh no, Breitbart's perfectly allowed to show up. They're allowed to do whatever they want. I just
Not
feel
whatever
badly
they
for
want.
well, not whatever they want. They're allowed to.
They're allowed to show up.
They're allowed to show up and report.
Showing up peacefully and not inciting violence.
No, I
That's
get that.
okay.
That's
It's what I
totally allowed. It just makes me very sad that people choose to waste their time promoting an agenda that puts them at a disadvantage, because really there's only very few people who benefit from the right-wing agenda. And it's definitely not the gentleman we see in front of us. It's a toxic agenda. It's an agenda that hurts people, hurts everyday people.
Everyday people who also have to use hospitals, who have families that will probably have to use hospitals too.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, good luck.
I mean, unless you're a billionaire, this agenda does not work for you.
Yeah, I hope you're good. I hope nothing ever happens.
Right.
Here, there's less to win, which would be better.
It's sad that someone would choose to spend their life and time and energy.
Where are we going? How do you want us to go?
So go over to that group of people. Follow this path.
Fire!
You
Fire!
Come on, let you get to
Fire! 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 Fire!
Donald J. Trump!
Oh, you know what? Yeah. And, we can
Good? Yeah. All the way over here.
I know we separated.
Robin, if I give you my camera, can you take some pictures for me?
Yeah. Can't promise it'll be good.
Okay, look here, look here, look here.
Hey, Robin. Do you want to take this? Okay.
They're gonna be following us around.
Robin.
But I'll take it of you all.
And then I have a question for you.
Okay.
We got company.
Oh, we're not allowed to stand with signs now? All the things we can't do.
Look, do we have an organizer for the group here? Nope.
What's the story?
Okay, where you are at right now is not an area that you're allowed to protest in.
Oh,
Where are we allowed
news to us.
How many folks do you have in your group?
Less than 20.
Less than 20. Let me call our special guest to find out what is available up here, and I will let you know where you can go to.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Thank you so much.
Until we figure that out, though, I need you guys to hold up your banners, please.
Hey, can we just stand over there?
Yep.
Let's walk. Hold on, let me get my rag.
Move over there. Thank you so much. Whatever you did will be great.
We're like the rebels in Star Wars that showed up when the call went out.
Let's walk over that way. Let's walk slowly over that way.
It's good stuff. Good to know what you can and can't say. Where are the limits of the First Amendment in Washington, D.C.? A lot of limits.
A lot of money over here.
A lot of restrictions.
They're handling it so far.
Can't protest here. Democracy is dying.
Well, if you get arrested on
Nothing else on the sidewalk. There's
a whole other level of clusterfuck. Just
Yeah, just go to the sidewalk.
Don't get inside the perimeter.
Let's walk towards the sidewalk down there.
He's gonna tell us to unfold the banner soon enough.
Get somebody, wait, stop. Get somebody else to help you carry that banner.
Yeah,
Okay,
if
you two take this, and the two of us will take this. I am holding another one, though.
Good, but I need
I could do that. We're just like a long chain.
But slow down, slow down, slow down. Let me catch up.
Almost done.
You guys walk that way. Center.
That's a on the train.
Walk that way, guys. Hello, heads up over there.
Hello. Quiet day.
Hey,
Okay, hon. See you later.
We don't have to go any further.
No, just let's all stand over here.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandra, you want them in any order?
Ideally, I like the holder of will not an option.
Okay, so let's switch sides. We're gonna go upright.
Okay.
Okay, we stay in the middle.
Okay.
I like this sketch.
Didn't you say you wanted to remove Trump versus?
Oh, this is fine.
Okay.
But go this way. For Teresa. Yeah, that's far enough. Try to hold it close together. No. You're fine. You want to fill in the space?
Well, she's the artist.
Yeah, let's fill in the space. Let's walk.
You've got long arms.
Try. Oh.
Kind of.
Yes. You have a hand. It would be great. Thank you.
Get closer together, just close that space. All right.
These banners are beautiful.
Yeah, can I take a picture?
You have to check.
This is the artist.
Alessandra, did you made these? All of them. Yes, she did. Wow, this is incredible.
So can the people that are in the gaps, can you get
Yeah,
down
I'm trying.
both
I'm
top
trying.
and
I'm doing my
bottom?
best. I mean, I got it.
Just for one picture. Whoever's in the middle of the middle one, don't stretch it that much.
Get tighter on that left. You're right. The right end. Yeah. And your shadow. Watch your shadow.
Okay, Lisa, you're pinching.
Impeach, now remove. Impeach, now remove. Impeach, now
Can you do this camera? I know it's the best camera. That's your favorite. One more shot. Thanks, Ken. It helps. Only the best. Only high tech here. You know, it's kind of sweaty, like a bathhouse, you know?
All right.
I can stay down here for another 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I got it.
Thanks, Ken.
Wait, one more minute, please.
Thank you.
Okay. Send it out. So they want us to be back there at
I'm gonna
2
run
o'clock.
over to Congressman Smith's office. I will see you guys back at Park.
Let's walk back over there, get some security. Yeah. Thank you, guys. No, we're gonna go into the hard office building. We're gonna start the mapping there. Okay. Cool. To get into Congress.